We're going to go through and then, great. Okay, I'm going to pass the presentation to you. You're going to analyze the euro against the dollar.
Okay. First, we look at the news. So later on today, there'll be news on the euro, quite a bit of manufacturing news. And later on in the night, there is the USD unemployment claims. So they're all high impact news. And looking at the S&P yesterday, was a little bit of upward move. Dollar index on the daily was a doji yesterday. So the dollar yesterday made a doji, like a hanging man doji, but that's after making a confirmed lower high. But compared to that bullish candle, it was still a higher low compared to this bullish candle here. And if we combine these two candles, it's actually an indecision candle. So I think after that bullish day, there was a pause, waiting for the news, the unemployment claims later on this evening. I would forecast that it's bullish because it's already filled the gap to this uptrend line. It has to now fill, either break above this downtrend line and fill the gap to this space up here. So I'm bullish on the DXY. Next is
if you click the pen tool and then that magnet tool, the magnet will lock it in place on the low, so you don't have to like guess.
This one? This one?
Oh no, so if you look on the very left with all the icons and stuff on the side.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so go all the way down, push the magnet.
All right.
And then that'll like kind of like snap to it, yeah. So if you click that, and then also click the line that you drew, like right-click it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then yeah, because if you right-click it, you can actually extend the line. It'll make your analysis like way less frustrating. Because for me, like I was like I didn't know.
Yeah, because certain areas it doesn't.
Helpful.
Yeah, certain areas it doesn't. Yeah, that's good. I think the magnet.
Yeah. But if you right-click that line too, right-click the line you draw, or you drew, like right-click it.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like format. Format it. And then on the right end, click the extend box.
Here. Oh, here. Right end. Okay, right.
Yeah, extend it. And then you can move it to snap. And then if you click that little pen underneath the magnet, it'll make it so you don't have to click the line tool every time. It'll just keep up whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Never knew that.
Hope that helps.
Thanks. Okay, so for the S&P, it's currently at an area of supply. It's also reaching like a congestion zone. It has a higher low compared to the previous higher lows, so the uptrend is still intact. But this is a strong area of supply, so I would be slightly bearish on this.
Okay, so why are you bearish?
Because it has tried 3-4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4 times to break this area of supply. So it would, well, unless the news is very good. So if the news is very good, it could break above this once and for all and move to the upside. So that has to be very good news.
Okay. Even if the news will come, do you think they'll push it up?
It's possible.
It's possible. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, it's about Samantha and Caitlin. You bullish or bearish?
I'm more bearish.
Okay. Why Samantha?
Compared to that really strong forceful bearish bar, it took 1, 2, 3, like 3 days for the bulls to try and, I don't know, just like correct things, so the force on the bullish end isn't very strong. And is that last peak, is that lower or higher than the last one? And did it create a lower high or a higher high?
Here, this peak here? This one.
The one.
This one?
Yeah.
It's lower than this one.
Yeah, yes.
2112.4. Yeah, it's lower. This is lower than this. It's a lower high.
Okay. Yeah, since it's a lower high, honestly, I think that the last few days are just mainly a correction before it break past that tertiary upward trend line. And yeah, hit either the second one or even retest the third one down to the last low. Yeah, I'm bearish because I was filling that void too. It's like a huge void back down to the primary uptrend line.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since the it's almost like a double jab Sigurado combo kind of thing, right? Because it's retesting that high again in a way, and then there's lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So yeah. Yeah, that's.
All right, sorry, very nice. Okay, so what is the highest probability, long or short?
The probability is short.
Okay, there's a low risk, high probability. Okay, so the S&P is bearish. Let's look at the dollar index. Start from you, Vicky. Are you bullish or bearish?
Bullish.
How about Caitlin and Samantha? Are you bullish or bearish?
With this one, I'm more bearish. I was kind of confused because I thought I thought it'd be way more bullish. Came all the way down and touched the uptrend line. And
Oops.
opening price.
Okay, so you
So even
were...
though it's a doji.
Sorry, Samantha, you got frozen. Is it me or is it Caitlin's one? Do you hear me, Vicky?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear Samantha or Caitlin, Vicky?
It was a bit broken up the last time she spoke.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought it was me. Hello, Samantha. Hello, Caitlin. Okay, yeah, so... No go, okay. Probably internet issues on our end. Alright, I'll get back to you then, Vicky. What evidence do you have that this is going to go up?
Sorry?
What evidence do you have that this is going to go, that you're more favorable to go up than to go down?
Firstly, it's a higher low compared to this. And on this doji, there's a higher high, but yesterday there was a lower high to this. But if we combine these two, it's like a big high wave doji.
Yeah.
Still with a higher high and higher low compared to this low here. And it is currently in the congestion area, but it has to, if it breaks, it has to fill the gap back to this downtrend line here. And it is still like following this uptrend line here. It hasn't break below this uptrend line.
Okay. Based on your FXCM, I believe you do have the dollar index, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do an experiment.
Is that on the US dollar?
Correct.
Delete. Oh, I don't seem to have it.
Okay, so there isn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you did.
Yeah, I thought I did too, but it's not there.
Okay, no worries.
One on there?
I'm sorry?
Was she looking for the dollar index on FXCM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Julian
outside.
had it up earlier.
Yes, they do. I thought that Asia will have one, but obviously not. Interesting. Okay, so if not, then short the euro for me, please.
Okay, so for the euro, again, the past 2 days was doji, lower high and lower low compared to this high here. It's still bounded by this downtrend line here in this area of supply. So it's waiting on news, but then you have a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low here. So with this higher low, it's the next progression should be either a lower high or a higher high. So this is the current candle. This was last night's candle. A higher low, higher high compared to yesterday's candle. So there is potential for it to make a more bullish candle after today. But then we have this long-term downtrend line, which is worrying. But if I forecast that the dollar index is going to be, what did I say, it was bullish, I think. Bullish, then the euro should be bearish. That this could potentially be the next lower high to this. And then we have either another higher low for this or a lower low. So bearish on this if the dollar index is bullish.
Okay, so as for based on the theory that you've given us, short it for me, please.
Right now? Okay.
Yes, please.
Haven't seen the lower time frame. and stop. I would put my stop here. Okay. Yep, this would be the profit areas, T1 and T2. T1 could be here, 08228, or the nearest one, T1, T2. Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Okay, Caitlin and Samantha, your turn. Who would like to go first? Either Caitlin or Samantha.
I can go first.
Okay.
So we're just analyzing a pair? Or?
Just the euro dollar, please.
Okay. We were looking at this earlier with Julian. I know that there was kind of like a re-entry on the euro USD going long, just because it came back down to moving average and it's stalling out. After this would have been your entry, and then you're getting in at a better price. I think, I guess the reason why we were, like, my thing is I don't know if I want the dollar index to go up, and that's why I'm, like, convinced it will, or if it's actually, you know, like, I think that's a problem I have today is I think I'm a little bit more subjective than I normally am. Just because I've been wanting the dollar index to go up for so long, since, like, last week. So, let's I know that it's currently stalling out at this demand area, which is also important. 'Cause it's kind of like it's completely funneled, and it's at demand and not supply. So, I mean, I think, and it formed a confirmed higher low compared to that one. And so even though this is a lower high, it either has to form a lower high compared to this one, or break through and create a higher high. So I know it's kind of so if it were to break upwards, it has a lot of room to go up, to be honest. And then it has like two voids. Like it has a void to fill on top, and then it has a void to fill going long. So let me just do fibs and see what's going on. So if we draw fibs here, it already hit the 61 and didn't pass it. It kept on going down. So this is like pretty much a correction of this. And then if we draw a fib in the opposite direction, this can also be a correction of this one because it came down, hit the 61, and then is stalling here at the 38 again. So let's see. I don't have. Do you know what the volume is on this doji? I don't have volume on the web version. It's not accurate. So what's the volume?
Use just a tick volume because you don't have real volume.
Yeah, but they said the tick volume is completely different on our version than the real data. He was like, don't even use it on the web version. That guy. So I can use it, but I don't know if it's going to be accurate. Does this look like yours?
Let's see.
Because this is one of the issues they have with the web version is that the tick
It's
volume.
a higher volume than the day before.
So this candle has higher volume than that one?
Yeah.
Okay. So see on this one it has lower compared to that one. I know today's candle has looks like it has higher volume, so I don't know. So then the volume isn't in our favor for going long. If this one is this, so okay, in terms of volume rate, can you use like any doji? So if like for instance, if this doji had lower volume than that one, could you still consider that like a low volume trade, or does it have to be the current one having low volume?
It has to be the current, right?
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, I mean, I'm on an M3. I'd be going long personally, and I honestly think it has room to come up and like retest this area before deciding. And I know on the weekly, we kind of like were waiting to see for it to go up anyway, because it formed a higher low compared to this one. So if it closes like this week, then it's a confirmed higher low, in which case it has all this room to like kind of like go back up to create either lower high or lower low. I mean lower high. And then if we go on the 4 hours, we see kind of like a let's see. Yeah, I don't know why, but like I don't know if I'm having an off day or what, but I just like I think it'll probably go long, to be honest. Like I see this lower, I mean this higher low compared to that one after this higher low, and I have a feeling it's gonna either okay, let's draw lots of angles. It's like the most long-winded analysis like ever, but you know. And then that would be 68. Maybe should be 292. I'm just going to do it freehand or else it's not going to work. 292. So if it were to go back up, it would be, it'll either continue going downward or oh my gosh, this is really frustrating. And then we go to 292 again. So I guess what I could do is I think with this one I'm going to have a strategy because I'm not really sure either way. So I know it's at demand and a change in trend to the upside. So selling right now, I don't know, like you're at a demand floor. So I would honestly, I don't know. I feel like buying and then if it surpasses this low, then I'll be selling. So I guess I would put my stop down a little bit down below here so that if it does come down here and pass this one, then I'll sell it down to this uptrend line. And if it doesn't come down here and take me out, then I guess it'll be forming the either lower high or the higher high. So if I buy now, then I'll be waiting to see if it's a lower low or a lower high. From the lower high compared to here, then I'll be getting out and selling again. But if it doesn't, then I'm until this demand area up here. So, yeah. I just see that this bullish move is completely lacking steam at this one demand line. So the odds of it maybe coming back up and retesting this before deciding whether to tank again, continue with its change in trend. Yeah. So I'm honestly more bullish, which means that, yeah, and that does kind of coincide with this M3 going long, too, I guess. So, yeah, I don't know if that's like the best analysis ever, but yeah, I would be going long, putting a relatively close stop, like 15 below this, and then waiting to see if it either takes me out, then I'll be going short, and if it doesn't, then I'll be going long. So.
All right, then whack one in. Put in a trade in if you're bullish.
So in terms of the, yeah, I definitely will. I'm just wondering, like, in terms of the dollar index, is it because I want it to go up that I'm thinking it, or is that, because I know Julian was bullish with the dollar index too, so I'm wondering, like, what you're thinking. Like, Vicky is too, so are you bullish or are you bearish with the dollar index?
Okay, let's analyze it. Okay. Before we do that, Vicky, based on what you saw on Samantha's analysis, what do you think she needs working on? And then for Caitlin and Samantha, what do you think Vicky needs working on? What do you think is missing? Okay, whilst you guys are doing that, I'll give it as well to Caitlin if you're there.
Okay, so we're using the same computer, so I'll just make you a new chart key. Okay, here's Caitlin. Okay, so real Samantha's thing.
Okay, don't analyze with any indicators on, or else you'll be cheating.
So according to Samantha's analysis over here, according to these angles that she drew, okay, so start from the beginning. On the weekly, the euro has been obviously very bullish, but created a lower high but recently it looks like it's about to create a higher low. And if it does create a higher low, then that means it could potentially go up to create a higher high. So the overall outlook right now, well, let's look up some trend lines. It looks like it could potentially be bullish until like it hits a trend line. So let's like check out the trend line. Oh, okay. So it's in an overall downtrend, and right now it is full price like went up, touched this downward trend line, and came back down, hit this area of supply right here, hit it, came up, hit it, didn't like it, came back down, and then it formed a higher low, and is now currently resting at this downward trend line. So it could potentially break through it to create a higher high, or it could just keep going down. So right now, as you can see, this is the weak candle, and the weak candle is indecisive. So yeah, I guess I'm not really sure what's going to happen because it's pretty indecisive. Although it did create a higher low, it looks like it could potentially go up, but it's an overall downtrend, so it looks like it's going to obey this and go down. So, confusing. I don't like it. It's not very... But let's see what's going on the daily. Maybe we can get a clear idea of what it's going to do. On the daily, I'm going to draw some trend lines. On the daily, you can just see everything in more detail. On the daily, you can see that, yeah, price is in an overall downtrend, although it created a higher low right here. So basically, it created a lower high in the scheme of things here. Then it created another higher high. Well, then it created a higher high, higher low. Looks like it was gonna like keep going up, but it didn't. It created a lower high here, and a lower high, and then it created a lower low, but a higher low compared to this one. So the important ones are that it created a lower high, so lower low, lower high, higher low, and now it's creating a lower high. So to me, this kind of looks like it's in an overall downtrend with a minor correction to the upside before coming back down. And it looks like this is a minor correction to the upside where it created a higher high and higher low, and then it created a lower high and a low, well, it's a higher low actually. But this looks like, honestly, right now it looks like it's trying to like just funnel out and then maybe just like continue on to the downside. That's what I would want to say. Let's just at this like little area of right now it's currently at a little area of supply though. See how it came down here, hit this, didn't like it. Right here it came up, hit that, didn't like it. So right now it's resting on top of this little area of demand. Actually it's resting between demand and supply because here's like a little supply, just like one line, but It's just like, yeah, price is just kind of indecisive right now. It looks like it's going all over the place. It's not like really nice or anything. You know, it's like, oh look, it's a higher high and then higher low. It's great, but then a lower high. You know, it's like, okay, what do you want to do? You know, but the overall trend is down, and the last thing I did was create a higher low and a lower high. So it just looks like it wants to funnel out. Most likely what it's going to probably do is, since this is create a gravestone dojis, like it looks like it's going to, and it is kind of a demand. I mean, this whole area you could call, supply, this whole area you could call supply. So I'm staying away from this.
So you bullish, bearish, or neutral?
There.
I'm sorry?
I guess I'm bearish because I'm just in this area right here. I just don't feel good about it. I don't feel confident either way.
Okay, so if you're bearish, whack it in. Okay, so what you guys notice when you guys are analyzing? So let's start from when Vicky started analyzing. What did you hear from her?
I mean, honestly, I think from everyone, we were kind of unsure.
I'm sorry?
I think everyone was kind of sounding unsure, so like not really confident about it. And Vicky was probably the most confident out of all of us. But yeah, I know that like I don't know if it's an off day or what, but like I don't know if my like analytical work is on point today. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm definitely. It's just creating a bunch of like conflicting like stuff and yeah. But I would just go to another chart that's less confusing. But I know that Vicky, she like based on her macro analysis, like her Euro analysis made sense. So, and I think that when she was doing her target, she had a really close probable target as T1. So even though she could have like I guess been a little bit more greedy on what her target points were, like I think her first one was like really close, just in case it didn't go her way. So I think either way, as long as your target points aren't like super greedy, you can probably make money buying or selling at this point. So yeah, I liked her analysis.
Okay, so what did you like in terms of Vicky's analysis, and what does she need working on?
I liked that she used the macros so much in hers.
Okay.
Yeah, her macro analysis was good. I liked that she had a close target point to the entry because she was kind of unsure about it. So I think that her choosing a close target was good. She didn't mention the demand area that it was focusing on though. I don't think I saw a demand line there. She might have, but I don't remember that. So yeah, and then also I would have liked to hear like an alternate strategy. So like if it didn't go her way, like what she would do.
Okay, good. All right, then let's start with Samantha. So Vicky, what did you like in Samantha's analysis, and what was missing, do you think?
I think Samantha's analysis was actually the most detailed. I realized how much I missed in my analysis after I listened to hers. And maybe I think the reason they didn't do the macros was because I already did the macros. So it's probably not necessary for them to do it. So they went straight ahead to the chart.
Okay.
But yeah, her analysis made use of like all the tools that we learn in class. From volume to like fibs and everything. So it was very, very detailed. And I think definitely in this case, it's not easy to determine which direction to go. So that's where the uncertainty is as to whether we should go long or short. Because it's cases like this when you have like two dojis, and it looks like it's in the middle of a trend that it could go both ways. I mean, I look at it and I'm thinking like it could be a long as well, because that's like the higher low, and we can't ignore that higher low. But then there's that downtrend line that is so close, you know, we're like right underneath that downtrend line. So, yeah. But yeah, definitely the alternative strategies. I didn't have that in mind.
Okay, great. And now for Caitlin. Actually, Caitlin, what can you say about your sister?
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Samantha's like pretty detail orientated. I like how she uses everything that we learned about. Like, she's really good at law of angles. I think she's really good. I think maybe if you have like a set routine that you like go through where you check this, then you check that, then you check this, then you check that, so that you can make sure that you hit everything. And then I guess like how you analyze it will just be more structured. Yeah, I was kind of jumping everywhere. Yeah, I mean I could use that too, honestly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then let's start with Caitlin. So let's start from you, Samantha.
I like how Caitlin started on the weekly. So instead of like going on the daily and like then flipping back and forth, she started on the weekly and then went to the daily. No, I know. I think you did a good job, Caitlin. I mean, I think you can definitely incorporate a lot more things. Like you could definitely draw better. Like you didn't really draw this demand area. Yeah, I think you could have drawn your supply and demand areas a little better, and then drawn some fibs, and then some law of angles, and then considered volume. And then, yeah, just a little bit more detail, but you're having an off day, so I will. She's like today's not been Caitlin's day. She's been like trying to meditate out of her bad mood all day. So, considering your mental state right now, I think this is a good attempt.
Okay.
Just more detail. Don't get lazy.
I see. Okay. All right. Vicky, your time, please.
Yeah, I think considering her mental state, she sounded very composed during the analysis. So she did a good job. I mean, I would have done a worse job if it's on my off day.
Gotcha. All righty. Very nice. Okay. Let's start first with the dollar index.
Thank you, Vicky. Too kind.
All right. Can you see my screen? Do you see the chart, Trading View, or you see Google?
Trading View.
Okay, Trading View. Okay, so firstly, let's look in terms of the current candle. The current candle formed also an uncertainty. Create a new lower low. At one point in time, there was a very bearish signal, and then buyers took over. But you have a lower high, which now created a proper lower high over here. Now, there is nothing dictating that this is creating a peak, or I'm sorry, a trough. So at this point, you have a bunch of high lows. You have higher high, and then you have a lower high. Okay, in between here, you have a series of lower lows. obviously from this point onwards, you have a series of higher lows. So the question would be is, why do we have two uncertainty candles in a row? So you have a lot of European news, mainly the euro, tomorrow, 3 a.m., which is 12 a.m. our time. Then there's another one after 30 minutes later, German flash manufacturing PMI. So you have French, Spanish, and German. So, and then back to euro at 4 o'clock again. Then you have the pound. Then 8:30 you have unemployment claims. So there's quite a few that this is basically dictating. Okay, so the other thing is that if this is bullish, you have uncertainty. If they really want to push it, then the price should be here by now. I didn't want to do that. So either one, to retest this low or that low to create this formation, or now back to this formation to retest these price points. Okay, then you have pretty much a Hail Mary type on that area if they choose to come back on this end. If they break, this will head all the way back down to here, 94. Mind you, you have a lower high over here. So to complete the actual trend, you need this one. You need a lower low in order to complete the whole total correction of this movement right here. So you have a slight uptrend, you're going to have a slight downtrend to create that lower low in order to complete the series. Because at this point you only have how many? You only have 3. 1, 2, 3. You need 4 to complete the trend. Okay. So that's why I'm bearish with the dollar index, basically longer term, because of this scenario. Right, let's go through and look at the euro. Same thing. You'll have to ask yourself, if you have a bunch of lower highs, then why didn't they push this all the way down here to create a new lower low? Technically speaking, that's the whole lot of part of the series, but you didn't want to. You have one, a new high, a new higher high. You have 2 peaks with 1 trough. You have a higher high. Then technically speaking, they really should back up all the way there to create now the continuation of the uptrend as well. Now, I get your analysis that what if this is a correction before a new continuation to create a new lower low over here? But the problem is that based on the weekly, you have a bullish candle that is halfway above the price. Because if this was really that strong, this price should be down here by now. Didn't want to. You have what we call a piercing pattern where the closing price is halfway above the average of the previous body. And here you have another indecision where they're pretty much deciding at this point this could be a new low, that depending on what the reports are going to be, that new low, by the end, you could also have a probability that they can push the price all the way there. Could be. But if not, then this is going to be a fake out, and this is going to fail to create new lower lows to continue the momentum of this. So it all depends on now what's going to happen at the end of the week. If you'll finish like this, you'll finish even, say, in a doji or a mini doji, 108.39, around that area. Then you'll have confirmed troughs. Then the probability to go to 114 is more than likely to happen. But last week was bullish with a lot of volume. So that means something as well. There was a lack of volume, and now increase in volume, where there's buyers on this end supporting the price. And the only reason why they have, look, they were so strong at one point, the only reason why they have uncertainty is because of the reports that are bound to basically happen. Okay, so if you combine all your analysis all together, all three of you will have the most meticulous, perfect analysis, and you'll have your answer. Dojis are really awesome. Yes. Now, if they breaks through on this end, easy, then you short it. If you are in a shorting and you're making money, and then also they boost it up, then both of you will make money. It just depends on the strategy now, what you have created for yourself. Right? So you have a higher high. Look, you have a higher high, higher low. The next progression should be a higher high or a new lower high. So if it's going to be a lower high, easy. Then the price, in order to create a lower high, then the price can just come back all the way back here, 107.86. They can spike it up and spike it back down. Anything can happen. Or I can see right here, based on that, what if they're not willing to go below this trend either? And then to fill that in, that can happen. This can happen. Or another version is that can happen. Then tomorrow they have to make a decision either to break out on the trend or continuation to the downside and descent. So you have three different possibilities.
So then, do you think that the strategy of going long but then keeping your stop pretty close to that last low, so that if it does break that, then you would sell? Or is that too close of a stop to go long?
Now, if I'm going to buy, I'm going to put my stop here, then I have a low risk high probability where I'm testing. So if the price continues to go to the outside, because I'm placing my bet that this is going to continue the trend, because I have a new higher high here, but there's no higher low. It was only yesterday that basically created the higher low. So if I will axe that one and continue, then there's a new high, higher low, then the next one should be for me a higher high. Technically speaking, to fulfill this scenario. If it doesn't want to, then it needs to create a lower high before a new lower low, lower high, lower low. So since because of this high breaking out that high, my bet is a little bit hard for the price to go to the upside. So now if I'm going to place my target point, I cannot go beyond this high, no way, because overall it's still basically a downtrend. I can make money all the way up here or around here. I can take some of the table, but depending on what the candle will do tomorrow, if it's very bullish, odds and probability they will break out the next day is more than likely to retest this supply level right there. So I can take some off the table and then continue and leave the rest, basically. Or if it breaks out on this high, then I can buy more. Okay. So that's simply what the only thing that I've seen in all three of you is no one really looked in terms of the relationship of this and the relationship of that. I think the closest was Caitlin, where she dictated basically the peaks and the troughs, the high and lows. Now, if you basically dictated, well, in order for it to continue logically the definition of an uptrend, then they should be up in there. But if it doesn't want to, you have two scenarios, higher high or lower high, before they will basically drop. They can push it all the way back there to break out the downtrend, create a lower high, and then fulfill back down here again, up there, back down here again to go through within this primary downtrend. Okay, so there you go. Different variations or different way of looking at it again. Questions?
Yeah, true. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And as far as the test trade is concerned, how much do you risk on test trades like this? I think that's like the problem I have. Like I'll end up like risking like 1 to 2%, but sometimes that seems to be too much. Is that normal or?
I'm sorry?
How much do you risk on when you do a test trade? Like how much do you usually put in as a test? Like what percentage?
Around, if say, especially like something like this, I'm against the trend, you know, when my feeling side is more very bullish, then I normally go between 2 to 3%. And then if I see, say, price is not going my way, then this is where I keep adding. And so the other portion here is I have a decrease basically in volume. So the probability that they could push it, more than likely. So if I'm adding, say, putting 2%, 3%, and it keeps going to my favor, and then at the end of the day, if I have a bullish candle, then I will add the rest. That could, see, something like this, right? That could give me the possibility of giving me, I don't know, I can add another, say, 3 or 4%, and my target is around here, but by the time it's getting through there too, I'm taking some off the table. So, for example, let's look at the Aussie against the US dollar. Same. I already knew basically like the feeling side, and you can see it so clearly here. I like this because I have a higher low, you have a Hail Mary down there, and you have a lower high over here, but you have a higher high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you have a lower low over here, but you have a higher high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 1, 2, 3, nice momentum, 1, 2, 3, and then you have stability, fat chance, and the level of demand. You have the lowest risk with the highest probability. So this one went up back to 78, took some off the plate, came back down, actually bought some more on this level. Okay, now I'm heavily invested now with the pound against, the Aussie against the US dollar. So now in order for me to make more money, I want that to go through here. But once it's coming back around this level, but there's no Aussie news. There's one medium impact, but that's a National Australia Bank quarterly business confidence, but there's really nothing right there. So since they tested all the way to 78, either they create a new higher high or they create a lower high, then that's okay. It goes back to 78, doesn't want to fulfill that, and I'll sell some all the way to 78.50. Then I have 79 as my major target point. But I have a higher high over there though. So my question is, for me, is like, if you have a higher high, you have a lower low, then either a new higher high or a lower high somewhere sometime in the future too. Okay, so very similar scenario, but it's just a different way. This one has a higher probability because of that higher low. And if I go back to the euro dollar, I like this one though because I have a higher low, but this is the first time to have a clear higher low. But don't get me wrong, this is still basically on a downtrend, and it's currently wedged at this point. So they have to make a decision either to push it to the upside or continuation to the downside to break basically that low. If so, then here you have a downtrend. Continuation back down within this level they have to retest. Am I willing to go all the way back down there from this perspective? No. I'm a level of demand. Yeah, I'm a low risk, high probability trade. But once this one breaks, then I have to short. Cut my loss and back to shorting at 106. So the other confidence giving me is simply the dollar index. It was struggling. Doesn't want to play. I have a lower low, I have a lower high. I have a new peak. Because of that, there's no validity that in order for it to continue the trend, it needs to create a proper lower low. That's my analysis. All right.
The current candle dollar index, that's from today, right? So from 2 o'clock?
Yes, correct.
So then it still has all, like, what's the probability of it maybe, like, not staying like that?
The probably, well, this one finished, right? So if I go through big charts, look at that, struggling. You already have a lower high. So for me, the probability of it more dropping is highly probable for me than to go up. Because if it is still going to be strong, then I need a new higher high, back to 99.
Gotcha.
So yeah. If it drops to 97, then I'm basically in the money with the euro. So my chances of me winning it to go long is higher compared to shorting the euro. So unless, well, yeah, you only have unemployment claims tomorrow. Then Friday you have euro all day, and you have a German business climate basically, but nothing in the U.S. So yeah, there's one core durable goods orders, but that's really it, right? And I mean, I don't know what the market is basically doing, to be honest. I'm also bearish with the markets at this point. Like in the S&P, I mean, I don't believe that it can go further. It's because of this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam, that's gonna fail. If that fails, then sweet, because I'm also short with the S&P at this point in time. I have a low risk, high probability trade. Level of supply, bunch of lower highs. You have a lower low, you have a massive momentum right there of that 4. It's one candle compared to 1, 2, 3. Only possibility is to create here to retest 2075 again. Right, so yeah, everything's basically out of whack. But if the connection between the dollar index and the euro, it's not as strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and it's only happened around this area. Didn't even want to go to 99. If it's around 99, then yeah, then that's where I'll be basically worried. Then I know that the dollar index can even go even further. Or if let's say like this one was here, and then say this one is now here, then yes, definitely stability before continuation. But no, 1, 2, 3 where it's struggling, and compared to this 3, compared not to that, for me this is more there. Doesn't want to play the game. But then again, we'll see. You know, one of us has to make money. One of them has to lose, unfortunately. All right. So write down, please, what you learned today and see how you can improve your trading. What else can you add in your analysis, do you think? Okay, any further questions? Going once, twice?
For the Hail Mary technique, you look at your dollar index, so that chart that you're having. So Hail Mary, there is a possibility of a Hail Mary, right?
Absolutely.
And okay, so for Hail Mary, the 2 peaks at the side, do they have to be at a very similar level?
No. What it already has done is actually already confirmed as a peak. So you have, for me, the Hail Mary one is 2 points. Have a higher high, you have a lower high. So, and then on this level is simply you have a higher low, but once it creates a lower low, everything through here, once all this one breaks loose, bam, once you have a lower low, the probability in terms of equidistant from the demand all the way to the supply will be on the same distance to the downside. So in other words, back to around this 94 area. Somewhere, sometime in the long run. And if we put 2 and 2 together, you will see that the monthly time frame has formed stability. You have a peak. So from a peak perspective, and look at how many months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 months from the last trough. It has to retrace to a certain point. It just can't sustain itself or keep going. Right? Even to 95.32. Even all the way to 92.18. So maybe, perhaps, next month you will see a beautiful evening star pattern. Guaranteed it's way overbought. So if you have a visual-based bearish candle right there, then back to 92, maximum around the 50 just to go on this level, because this one's pretty hardcore, 90. Then that also means to me that the euro, based on the monthly, it's time for it to correct as well. After how many months? So you have a doji, you have a potential morning star next month to create a correction from top to bottom all the way to 118. So if it continues all the way down there, then you have at least 1,100 pips basically to the upside. It's been way battered, too much. This one's way oversold at this point. See? And plus you have divergence, price of stochastic is pointing up while this is pointing down. So the probability to correct itself is more than likely to happen. So everything within the dollar index and the euro are in synchronicity. Uncertainty, potential bearish to correct all the way 92.90 before it can continue. right? So it's very much the highest it's ever been. It needs to correct itself. And it's a little bit more dangerous, actually, that it could drop even faster, because look at the momentum. So it's going to drop, bam, bam, bam. You really got to be quick too. 2-3 months. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, like this. 1, bam. But of course, longer term, it has to come back up again, because it broke out all those highs, even that high. So the next one is even above parity, right? It can go all the way to 120 if it goes through that way. But correction needs to be in order. It can't sustain itself. So you have a proper opportunity of buying simply within the euro. You're in the right time, right place of getting in at a cheap price with a low risk, high probability trade. And then now you have a proper one with an M3. If you want to cheat, get up higher high. That's the entry point. Second opportunity, third opportunity, fourth opportunity with a proper. You have now a clear higher low above the moving average. That's pretty sweet. Your chances are now higher once again. So that's my analysis. Worst case scenario, yeah, you go all the way, either your stop loss over there, stop loss over there, even a stop loss over there. What are the chances? If you put your stop loss on this end, it's pretty unlikely you get stopped out, in my opinion, for medium-term type of trading. But we'll see when that happens. Okie dokes. Any more questions? Did it make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Perfecto. Then you guys have a good one. We'll see you tonight from Trading Psychology 202.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.